Hi, this is Christy with Creations by Christy, and today I'm going to show you inside my inventory book that I created and made and is on my blog. I had a lot of requests to see inside my book. And so here's my book, and the cover is from Seven Gypsies, and here's the front of it, and it's got a stamp here by Tim Holtz. A lot of these embellishments, actually all the embellishments here are Tim Holtz. Here's a little key, and the back has this little eye that's Tim Holtz stamp, and it's got my card here, so in case I set it down somebody might be kind enough to return it. And it was originally 2 books, and because I didn't have a big enough binding, but then I got one, so put a bigger binding on it, and now it's 1 book. I made these cool tabs with my Cuttlebug, and I'll show that in a later post. And then this little tab holder that kind of holds all together, that's from Seven Gypsies also. And so you open it up, and inside I have some extra sheets here that I can put my wish list, which there's always a wish list. And so those are on the inside, and they're kind of between each section too. So it starts out, here's all my Cricut cartridges, and I put out all the cartridges that they have at this time, and I can write down the extras on this side when they come out with new ones, which there's always new ones. But I put the ones that I have in red, and then the ones I don't have in black. And then like this black one here that I did end up getting, I just highlighted in yellow. So then these are more Cricut cartridges, and then it goes on to Slice and the Xyron Design Runner. And then the next tab is the Cuttlebug. Here's the dies and more dies, and I have them, you know, sorted out, die cut fonts, the 3x3s, the 2x2s, stuff like that. And then it goes on to here's the embossing folders, which I have a lot of embossing folders. I love using the embossing folders. And here are some of the extra ones that I got at the CHA Super Show. So I have those on a little post-it, and I'll add those in when I update it. Now the Tim Holtz ones, the Sizzix embossing folders, I listed out all of his that he has at the time that I wrote the book. And so the ones that I do have, I have in red, and the ones I don't have, I have in black, because there's a lot of them that I have on my wish list. So I figure I'd write them out already and then just highlight them when I get them. So then I have the spellbinders, and let me zoom out here a little bit so you can see the whole book. Spellbinders and the 10-second studios that I have. Now for my punches, and for a lot of the ones that you see the pictures, what I did, I just went on their sites and did I think it's the right click of the mouse and save picture as, and then I saved it, didn't care what it was called, and then I just put it in the MS Word, and then just made up this little chart, and that way I have pictures, and they're not as big. These are extra ones that I got after the fact. These are the big EK Success ones, and so I just fell in love with those. So I just kind of stapled those on. But if I had all of them in the big ones, it'd be a big bulky book and just way too cumbersome. So then I have another section here. Let's see, then we go on to stamps. Now the stamps, I have a list here, but instead of having to read out every time I'm at the store getting new stamps, I did again. I went through and pulled up the pictures, and that way I'm more of a visual person than, you know, sitting and reading lists. So that way I can quickly and easily, if I'm in the, you know, Hero Arts section, I can just quickly and easily just look, okay, yep, I have the, you know, the clocks and the keys and the other. And so I can just easily see which ones I have and which ones I don't. So I have it all that way. So I could just quickly, but then the Tim Holtz ones, I love all of his stamps. He's kind of in a section by himself. So I printed up all of his stamps, and then the ones that I do have, I just highlighted in yellow. And, which there's a lot that I want, but I don't have yet, so And then the next section would be the Copic markers. And kind of, this is like Copic markers, paints, dyes, that kind of stuff. So here's the Copic marker chart. And then this is the hand color chart that you color in the colors that you have. And I don't have too many. I just started collecting them. So they're definitely on my wish list. Now this page I accidentally had put in with this page facing this way, so that's why this page is upside down. So when I update my book in a year or so, then it'll be fixed, but until then I'm fine with it. So here's my distress inks, and then these are my die pads, and I have 1 or 2 dots depending on whether I have the little pads or the big pad. So that's why there's 2 dots. And so there's the Adirondack and the StazOn. So just kind of went through and made up a little chart for each one. Here's the paint dabbers, and this I got from their website, and I just kind of put a little with a Q-tip, just put each color that I had and the ones that I don't. Obviously I don't have a spot, and so I know which ones I need. The Distress Crackle paint, I took and did the colors. Now this is kind of like the Helen Keller method, and I'm not saying that being mean or anything. I know everybody's so PC these days, you gotta watch what you say, but because you have to feel for where they are, because their colors are so exact, but you know, the colors that I pulled up online, and so you have to really feel to see where, because I put the paint right on top, and so you have to kind of feel to see where. Like I don't have any of these, but if you don't look, like, I mean, you can look, but you can't really see it unless you feel for it. And same with the studio paints. I have all the Claudine Helmuth studio paints. I'm taking her class this summer, and it's a great class. I'm so glad I'm taking it. And so I had to get all of her paints, and great excuse to get her paints, right? But I'm really enjoying using them. And then I have all of the samples of, like, okay, if you mix these 2 colors, you get that color, and so on. So I figured, because I use this book a lot for reference when I'm designing, so I like to have all that right here also. I don't just use it when I go shopping, so I don't buy doubles. And then the Apple Barrel colors, these are just the cheap paints you can get at Michael's or Joann's or whatever. This is what I had before I got the Claudine Helmuth. So I have that in there. There's some more paper to put lists. Here's the Distress embossing powders, and I did these the same way that I did the tops of my embossing powders, where you put the little glue dot and you sprinkle your embossing powder, and then you just heat set it. And this is, again, you have to feel for the ones that I don't have these 2 and I don't have these 2, and that one and that one. So you just kind of feel around. So then we move on to the Zing, and here's the glitters and the metallics, and then the opaques down here. So the last part of this book, this is all the cool sparkly stuff. Perfect Pearls are all up here. The Stickles, and the Stickles is kind of neat. I love having this reference when I'm designing, because like all these whites, if you look at the bottles, it's hard to tell which is which. Like, you know, that there is really a difference. But like the Icicle has more of a blue. I'm trying to turn it so you can kind of see. And the Crystal has more of a pink. Frosted Lace is more of a white. And so there's a really difference between all the different whites. Then here's the Distress Stickles. Here's the sprays, and then here's the elements. And these are really cool things. These are element textures. Here's my Fun Flocks. And these are like the no names. These are the ones with the names. Micro beads. And again, these I just did with the glue dots. Here's my Chunky Glitter, Tinsel Glitter, all my glitter. And then the last page is the Adirondack Dimension Pearls. And so, and that is the last page. And then I have some extra pages back here to fill in of more wish lists, stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed this and get an idea of how maybe you want to organize your inventory book. And thank you for watching.